Dear students, I am Vijay. In the last video, you learned order of an element, definition, examples, and we proved two theorems related to order of an element. One is if G is a group, if A belongs to G, then order of A is equal to N. Then order of A inverse is also N. And second one is if A is an element of a group G such that order of A is N, then A power M is equal to E if and only if N is a divisor of M. Today in this session, let us learn theorems related to order of an element. Let us start with this theorem. Theorem 3. If G is a finite group and A is the element of that group G, then order of that element is less than or equal to order of the group G. Here given G is a finite group. A group G is called a finite group if G is a finite set. The order of the group G is the number of elements in the group G. A group of order 2 has 2 elements, the group of order 3 has 3 elements, and so on. The group of order n has n elements. Now come to the point, order of an element. The order of an element A in a group G is the least positive integer m such that a to the power of m is equal to e. Suppose if it is n, then a to the power of n is equal to e. That definition you learnt in the last video. Here we have to prove every element of order is always less than or equal to the order of the group G. To prove this theorem, let us take here n be the order of A. Here n is the order of A. Therefore, A power 1, A power 2, A power 3 and so on, A power n is equal to E or n distinct elements in the group G. After a to the power of n, if you have a to the power of n plus 1 means this can be written as a to the power of n into A. By definition of order of an element, we can write here a to the power of n is equal to E, least positive integer. Therefore, a to the power of n is E. E into A, this is equal to A only. After this, suppose if you have a to the power of n plus 2 means here a to the power of n plus 1 into A, isn't it? A power n plus 1 into A, again you will get A square. It repeats A square, A cube and so on. Okay, here we have to prove order of A is less than or equal to order of G. Let us prove this theorem by using a contradiction. Let us take order of A is strictly greater than order of G. Then order of A is, here we take an order of A is n. Therefore order of A is n, which is greater than order of G. It implies number of elements in G is less than n. Is it possible? Basically, this G, the group G has n distinct elements. Here we are getting which is less than n. So this contradicts to the fact order of A is greater than order of G. That means here what we have taken, order of A is greater than order of G, is wrong. Therefore, order of A is always less than or equal to order of G. Let us take one more theorem. If G is a group, A is an element of the group G, and then order of A power K is always less than or equal to order of A, where K is any positive integer. That means the order of any integral power of an element, order of any integral power of an element A of a group cannot exceed the order of A. The order of any integral power of an element A of a group cannot exceed the order of A. To understand this theorem statement, let us see one example that you studied in the last video. Find the order of each and every element of this group. These are all multiples of A. Here the order of first element is 6. You are all familiar with finding the order of an element of a group, isn't it? Here order of first element A is 6. Then order of A square is 3. Order of A cube is 2. Next, order of fourth element, that is A power 4 is 3. Order of A to the power of 5 is 6. And order of A power 6 is 1. From all these results, what we can say here as the order of the integral powers of A, that is order of A square, A cube, A to the power 4, A to the power 5, A to the power 6, these are all always less than or equal to the order of A. Here, see here order of A is 6. Order of A square is 3, which is less than 6, isn't it? Order of A cube is 2. It is less than 6. Then order of A to the power of 4 is 3. It is less than 6. Next, order of A to the power of 5 is 6. It is equal to 6. Then order of A to the power of 6 is 1, which is also less than 6. So this is the meaning of this statement. That means power of an element A of a group cannot exceed the order of A. That's all. Okay, now let's move on to proof. Let A power k be any integral power of A. That is, here let us take order of A as m. This implies by definition of order of an element, it is A power m is equal to E. This implies taking power k on both sides. Taking power k on both sides, then we get A power m whole power k. This is equal to E power k, which implies A power m of k can be written as A power mk. This is equal to, here E power k is E only, because if you multiply E on k times, we get E only, isn't it? Therefore E power k is E only. Okay, which implies here A power mk can be written as A power k into m. This is equal to E. Now again, let us apply the definition of order of an element for A power k. Therefore, order of A power k is less than or equal to m. But what we are taken as m as, here m is order of A. Substitute this value here. Therefore, order of A power k is always less than or equal to order of A. This is the proof of this theorem. That means order of any integral power of an element A of a group cannot exceed the order of A. Let us move on to the next theorem. If G is a group, A and X are any two elements of the group G, then order of this A and order of x inverse ax. This is equal to order of x inverse a into x. It means the order of the elements of A and x inverse ax are the same, where x and A are any two elements of the group G. To prove this theorem, let us consider order of A is equal to n and order of x inverse ax is equal to m. In the last, we have to prove n is equal to n, m is equal to n. Here order of A is equal to n. It means A power n is equal to E by definition of order of an element. And similarly here also order of this one is equal to m means x inverse A x to the power of m is equal to E by definition of order of an element. Call this as equation number 1. Again consider x inverse A x to the power 2. Let us take instead of m, let us take here 2. Here we multiply 2 times, multiplying 2 times and applying associative law. We know that x into x inverse is E, and we know that A into E is A only. Again in the next step, x inverse into A is A square into x. Similarly, x inverse into A x to the power 3 can be written as x to the power minus 1 A to the power 3 into x. In general, we can prove by mathematical induction. So we can generalize this one. Instead of 2, we can take it as n. That's all. So in place of 2, put n. From this equation, x inverse into A to the power of n into x, call this as equation number 2. In the next step, here A to the power of n. A to the power of n means this is E, identity element E. Therefore, substitute this value A to the power of n is equal to E in this equation 2. Then we get x inverse into E into x. Multiplying identity element with x, you will get x only. Therefore, x and x inverse, they are inverse of each other. Again, you will get the identity element. So it implies order of so it implies x inverse into A into x to the power of n is equal to E. Again, by definition of order of an element, we can write this one as order of this one is less than or equal to n. Order of x inverse ax is less than or equal to n by definition of order of an element. But order of x inverse into A into x is m, isn't it? M is less than or equal to n. Call this as equation number 3. In the next step, let us take this one. Order of x inverse into A into x is equal to m. Order of x inverse into A into x is equal to m. Here, again by definition of order of an element, we can write this one as x inverse ax to the power m is equal to E. Here by equation 2, we have x inverse ax to the power n can be written as x inverse A to the power n into x. Substitute the value of n is equal to m here. That's all. Therefore, in the next step, x inverse into A into x to the power of m can be written as x inverse into A to the power of m into x. That's all. Is equal to E by equation 2. Therefore, x inverse A to the power of m into x as it is equal to E can be written as identity element can be written as x inverse into x. Isn't it? By left cancellation law, so here we can cancel x inverse on both sides. By left cancellation law, we get A to the power of m into x is equal to x. So here x can be written as E into x in the next step. Here again, by right cancellation law, we can cancel x on both sides, isn't it? Therefore, a to the power of m is equal to e. So, a to the power of m is equal to e means order of this one is less than or equal to m. Order of a is less than or equal to m. Call this as equation number 2. Order of a means order of a is n here, isn't it? Order of a is n is less than or equal to m. Call this as equation number 4. Equation 3. In equation 3 we have m is less than or equal to n, and in equation 4 we have n is less than or equal to m. So from these two we can say that m is equal to n. Here m is order of x inverse ax and n is order of a. The order of, that means the order of elements of a and x inverse ax are same. Let us move on to the last theorem in this session. If order of a is equal to n and p is relatively prime to n, p is relatively prime to n means GCD of p and n is 1. Then order of a power p and order of a is same, that is n. To prove this theorem, let us take order of a is n and order of p is m. In the last, we have to show that m is equal to n. Okay. Order of a is equal to n. By the definition of order of an element, it is a to the power of n is equal to e. Rising to the power p on both sides, you will get this one. Here interchanging n and p, here e power p, that means e is multiplied p times. That means e into e into e into e is multiplied p times, means e only, isn't it? It implies a power p whole to the power of n is equal to e. Here this means order of, again go back to the definition of order of an element. This one is order of a to the power of p is always less than or equal to n, isn't it? Order of a to the power of p means it is m. We taken this one as m. Therefore, substituting this value here. Therefore, m is less than or equal to n. Call this as equation number 1. In number theory, you learnt since p is prime to n, that means since p is relatively prime to n means GCD of p and n is 1. Then there exists at least two integers x and y such that px plus ny is equal to 1. Therefore, here a is equal to, I will write a as a to the power of 1. Here a to the power 1 can be written as px plus ny. 1 can be written as here px plus ny. I will separate this one in this form, a to the power of px into a power ny. I will split this one in this form. Again a power px as it is, a to the power of n into y. I will write a to the power of ny as a to the power of n into y. We know that a to the power of n is e, isn't it? A power n is e. That means e to the power y. Here e to the power y means e is multiplied y times. If you multiply e y times, then its value is e only, isn't it? Therefore e to the power y. E power y, again e is multiplied y times, you will get e only. Therefore a power px into e. Therefore a is equal to a to the power of px. In the next step, rising to the power m on both sides to this equation. Rising to the power m, we have this one, a power px into m. We can interchange these two powers in this form. Here again a power p is e, e to the power m is e. Therefore here a to the power of p of m is e. Therefore e power x. If e is multiplied x times, then e only, isn't it? Therefore a power m, this is equal to e. Go back to the definition of order of an element. This is very important. order of A is less than or equal to M. I hope you are following. Order of A is less than or equal to M. But order of A is, we taken in the beginning, order of A is N. N is less than or equal to M. Equation 1 is M is less than or equal to N. Equation 2 is N is less than or equal to M. From equation 1 and 2, we have M is equal to N. M is, in the beginning we taken M is order of A to the power of P, and N is order of A. This completes the proof. Dear students, up to so far we learnt order of A in a group. Order of A is always less than or equal to order of the group G. In the second theorem, the order of any integral power of an element A of a group cannot exceed the order of A. In third theorem, order of A and order of x inverse A and x are same. In last one, in theorem 6, if order of A is n and P is relatively prime to n, then order of A power P and order of A is same, that is n. Thank you.